We all saw when the first Joker movie caused some controversy. People were boycotting seeing it because they were afraid of it sparking potential violence, political violence, shootings, anything. People were nervous about it. And now we got a guy boycotting it because Joaquin Phoenix quit a film. I don't mean to make a dramatic title. This isn't really any kind of real controversy or legitimate thing that's actually spreading. I'm just talking about an interesting, I'll say, post that I saw talking about Joker 2 and a very weird reason for boycotting it. This is a pretty typical Twitter lolcow on comic book Twitter. This guy Moonlight Warrior. Let's just say he has a very interesting account. It's kind of weird that he's actually boycotting this because he's kind of a notorious Warner Brother, kind of like Glazer. He's very defensive of Warner Brothers, like not even DC or anything in particular, like the studio Warner Brothers. He's very defensive of. But for some reason, this was the straw that broke the camel's back for him. The post goes as follows. Joker Folie à Deux will be the first DC film I won't see in theaters. And as a massive DC fan, I never thought I'd say that. I just can't support a millionaire actor who screwed over an entire film crew and put them all out of work. Put them all out of work? I mean, maybe the film's delayed, maybe it's causing a headache for people involved, but people walk away from movies all the time, and this is hardly the biggest thing out there. I'm also talking about the same guy who very vocally supported The Flash, which starred a maniac criminal. So if you're bringing in real life stuff into the movies that you support, this is very shaky ground and inconsistent. Now look, I like The Flash. I watched The Flash, I supported it, but I'm also not trying to pretend that I have any kind of moral superiority in the movies that I do and don't support. You know, maybe something will annoy me more than something else, an actor will annoy me, so I won't want to see a movie, but this is just such a bizarre reason to completely try to boycott a movie. He's talking about protesting screwing over one entire crew of a movie by screwing over another crew by not supporting it, because that's what effectively he's trying to do, is start some kind of protest against it because of Joaquin Phoenix, which is so weird. Not only that, but this dude also supported Francis Ford Coppola right after, in spite of his weird groping, whatever just happened. I don't know what that is all about. But again, just a very odd reason to withdraw support from a movie. Hardly the biggest controversy that anyone's ever seen, especially in light of the other movies that this guy is totally fine supporting. Support whatever movies you want. I don't really think it matters. But I think it's just so weird that this is the hill that he's going to die on. I expected Joker 2 to maybe draw up some controversy for some other reasons. Same as the first movie did. You know, that movie was very controversial of its time. Gun violence was a pretty big topic at the time. This one's coming out in an election year, so I would have thought it would be like anything but this, but I guess Joaquin Phoenix quitting a movie is the big controversy that leads to support being withdrawn. Obviously, what he did, it doesn't sound like he was the easiest to work with. I'm pretty sure Joaquin Phoenix is kind of notoriously difficult sometimes. He's a very high caliber actor. He's pretty high maintenance, I think. It takes a lot for him to get into character, and I think it takes a lot out of him, and sometimes that causes for him to be demanding on set. I'm pretty sure we saw a video of that coming out of the first Joker movie, so it's not surprising that he probably had demands, probably was frustrating to work with on whatever this movie was, and then it just didn't work out, and he ended up splitting on probably the worst possible terms. But there are so many worse people in Hollywood, so many other people that are more deserving of a boycott, and it's just so funny that this dude was one of the most vocal supporters of the Flash movie starring serial criminal Ezra Miller, but just this is where he's like, alright, well, I have to have principles here. But regardless, I'm sure the movie's going to be just fine without the Moonlight Warrior on Twitter supporting it. I'm sure that it's easily going to make $1 billion, be incredibly successful, and cement Joaquin Phoenix's performance as the Joker as one of the great comic book performances of all time, as if he hadn't already done that in the first movie. But I still just thought this was such a weird reason to boycott a movie, especially in light of other things that this guy is supporting. But it's just funny. I'm not trying to cancel him or anything like that. Just a little bit like clowning because this is another weird ass Twitter take. Comic book Twitter is full of them. So I thought I'd bring it up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Is Joaquin Phoenix walking away from a movie enough to make you not support Joker 2? Let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear. I'm GM Light. Have a good one.